Welcome to Uncontained episode 168. I'm your host, Aaron Static Render, and on the show today, I speak with Ray Phunk, the host of Activate LA, which you can check out on YouTube live Fridays from 9 to midnight. Check him out with his crew as they interview some very entertaining guests. And we'll talk more about what guests he has on the show. I don't want to give it all away right now. Ray got started out popping, dancing with the crew Distinguished Gentlemen, moved on to DJing, and now is where he's at now with the Activate LA show. It's a great show. I had a great conversation with Ray. I think you will enjoy it. And after you listen to this episode, I think you would enjoy checking out his show as well. That's Activate LA. All of the links are in the show notes, so please check those out and show Ray a little love. So plug in those earbuds. It is time to find out how Ray Phunk lives uncontained. On the show today, I'm speaking with Ray Phunk, host of the show Active LA. How's it going today, Ray?
Hey, how's it going? Pretty good, man. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm really excited, and even though I do radio and podcast hosting, I'm kind of nervous.
Why is that, man? No need to be nervous here.
Man, no, it's I listen to your podcast, and it's really good. You know, the whole audio thing, and we on our show, you know, we go all over the place. You know, so you're very organized. From what I've heard of your
all right. There's some that go all over the place, and feel free. We can bounce around subjects as well. So, but first of all, let's just go ahead and get started. You want to just give a brief intro to the Uncontained audience and introduce yourself a little bit better than I did?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, everybody? For the Uncontained podcast, this is your friend Ray Phunk. I have a background in old school dancing, which is popping, and right now, at the time, I do a podcast YouTube show with my friends from my crew, Activate LA. I'm a radio host, podcast host. I do it all, but mainly I try to help people with the small platform that we have going on right now.
Very cool, man. So you mentioned earlier as we were talking, you kind of got started out through popping and dancing with your crew. You want to take me through like how you got, first of all, how did you get into dancing and doing like hip hop style dances?
Hip hop style. Yeah, man. I'm actually glad you asked this question. Because a lot of the people that know me now through podcasting, they don't know, some of them don't know my side of dancing. I started dancing around when I was 9 through what they called New Jack Swing, and I was a lot of kids, you know, back then, you know, either had the Nintendo NES or the Master System. And my brother had the Master System, but I was he never let me play with the Master System. So my only toy or fun was going outside the street and taking my little boombox and just practicing whatever moves I was doing on TV, you know. Then from there, fast forward later, I started learning popping 2004. And throughout my dancing experience, I met old school dancers from the movie Breaking. Probably some of you guys will remember that movie. And from there, started a popping crew here in Los Angeles called Distinguished Gentlemen, which later on, some of my friends or members, they flew back to Japan, Nagoya. Then from there, he created a branch of Distinguished Gentlemen, and we have some members down there. I'm not as active in the popping community as much anymore because of the radio.
Okay. So did it start with you here in the States and expand over in Japan when part of your crew split over there, or were they over there and picked up on it? Like, let me rephrase that question.
Yeah.
All right, you started it here, but did some of your crew, as you said, did some of your crew split and go to Japan, or did Japan hear about you and start their own thing?
Don't think. Yeah. I had as you know, here in California, you know, we have a lot of people that come as what do you call it, exchange students. Foreign students, they kind of come for like 3 years, then they go back home. So within the hip hop community, a lot of people from outside the U.S. they like coming to the West Coast to learn from the original, street.
Yeah.
So I got the chance to meet some people here that they were just for school, and then they became part members of the crew, and then that's when they after they finished school they went back and expanded over there.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Taking the foreign exchange students, giving them a
There you go.
course in American style popping, and then they take it back to Japan. And now you got your international charter.
There you go. Oh man, I like the way you put it. I'm gonna have to steal it.
Feel free, my friend. Feel
Thank
free. Now, from dancing, where did you go? Like you said, you aren't as active in dancing community because of the radio show. Now, um, did you go straight to the radio show, or did you do some DJing in between, or what's your storyline
you.
look like?
Sorry. Yeah, my bro. I got it from my brother. My brother taught me with vinyl back in the mid '90s, and I think it went hand in hand with the dancing and then I stopped, and then I stopped in. I only did DJing in the mid '90s for about 2 3 years,
Okay.
uh, and then it wasn't until 2011, 2010 that when Activate LA started, that I got back into DJing.
Okay, okay. I was gonna say I thought you were still active doing DJing because one of the episodes that I caught was kind of a rant and a video on fake DJs.
Oh
Uh
yeah,
where it's just basically like a stripper grinding on a turntable.
yeah. She's doing a different type of mixing, and I can't knock her game. You know what I mean? But no, so I DJ for fun. I every now and then, I get gigs and I go out and I do a small set or get in the mix, but I don't do it as a career or trying to get into the club scene right now. That's not my main thing.
Okay, well then let's talk about your main thing right now, which is Activate LA. I like the name of the show, man.
Thank you, man.
I kind of hear a Transformers voice in my head doing it, like
Activate LA.
yeah, something along those lines.
Well,
But I dig the show. I've listened to a few episodes, and I like your group.
thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I mean, if you don't mind, I'll tell you where the name came from and how it was born.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So um when I started Activate LA, it was not supposed to be Activate LA like a party crew or something. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be my comeback from my old podcast that I used to have. I started back in 2008, and I was really deep into the dating scene. I always been interested in seduction. I've always watched movies about like dating gurus and how do you approach a woman and how do these guys do it so naturally? How do you approach a woman and how do they do it? And right away the woman talks to them, they get the number. So
They wear the weird hat and have some weird gimmick. That's how they do it,
that
dude.
hat, man. I wear hats, but I think I've been wearing the wrong ones. No, so it was called the that podcast was called the After Hours Show, and I think there's a couple of episodes still. Like I left them up, in the internet or some old pages. But I just stopped doing the show because my confidence level wasn't
Yeah.
really out there. I was putting episodes and I was getting some responses, but I didn't know how to reach out to people. What I know now. Yeah. So fast forward 2008 to 2010, 11. Um, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start my podcast, and I went to a party, and my friend was with other friends, and then I just heard them talking, and they were like, "Damn, man, so and so, he went over there with that badass girl. She's good looking, she's fine. Oh, what?" So she was the dime of the club.
Okay.
So me, I was like, damn, I'm interested in this because I want to bring back the show. So this guy's like, trying to get the number of the finest girl in the club. So the guy comes back, like waving the piece of paper, and he's like, "Yo, I got the number." And then my friend asks him, "So did you activate?" And he's like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I got the number, and I'm gonna call her tomorrow." And then when he said that, I was like, wow, that's pretty dope. And I related it to dancing, because I was popping. So
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's dope. Activating is kind of like you become the person that you're not, like superheroes, like the Green Hulk. He
Yeah.
becomes the Green Hulk, or Superman goes in the booth, he becomes, Superman. So I was like, that's tight. I want to
Gotcha.
activate. So um, I hear, yeah, people were like, I used to use the word, when I would be in the cipher, like, yo, I'm about to activate. So every time people will see me in the club scene here in Los Angeles, they'll scream, yo, Ray Funk, come on, activate, activate. So, so I was like, dude, that's what it's going to be called. It's going to be called the Activate Podcast. So,
Nice, nice. You should have that in your opening. Have like your crew be like, Ray Funk activate.
oh man, I like that. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, even
That's
have like a
dope.
recording on it. You know the guy that you have with all the sound effects and everything like that. You can just hit a hotkey and play that.
Yeah, it's like, yo, I'm about to start the show. Come on, Ray, activate.
And
Uh,
then do a countdown from that or something like that. I'm not telling you how to do your show.
no,
Don't,
man, I
don't.
think that's a good idea. Because I have my created my own independent YouTube channel for myself. But going back to the name, I try to get the activate.com page, and I couldn't get it. Somebody else had it, and then I was like, you know what? Let me check Los Angeles, because I'm in LA, and people know me in LA. Maybe they don't know me outside, but so yeah, Activate LA was available, and that's how I got the name. And then about the radio show, the crew, how they came about. I was uh, started doing parties, and still doing parties, and a lot of DJs started coming to my parties. My friends, some of them, my crew now, some of them started DJing. So everybody used to call us like a crew, and my friends like,
Okay.
yeah, Activate LA crew. And I was kind of like, man, I don't really want it to be a crew. And but one thing it did catch my attention. We were doing a lot of fundraisers. Like we did one for Joplin, for Japan. We did oh man, there's been a few. Uh, so I was like, man, you know what? Like, this is pretty dope that I can use the platform, and with my friends, use this platform to help other people,
Yeah.
create fundraisers. So that's what when I was like, you know what, dude, I'm I'm gonna let it be a crew. You know what I mean? That's what we are, and we help people. So um, and that's how the crew came, and it's still growing. We have members all over the place, and artists, DJs, um dancers, you name it. Yeah.
Right on. Cool, dude. So you mentioned you started doing fundraisers and charity events and stuff like that, but what was it that made you first decide to start doing fundraisers?
I believe whatever you do, it comes back to you. And to me, seeing people be thankful, for something that I could do for free, and also to helps them, that's one thing that made me want to continue to do that. A
Yeah.
lot of people, they're blessed with having the platform. My platform's not like as big as I want it, but I want to do as much as I can to help other people. Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. Helping them throw an event, helping them promote their mix, uh, looking for your dog. Whatever I can. I'll look for, like, I share stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I see a dog's missing or something, and I just share the page. I try to catch up. The last time I shared something about a person, and it was a really dope. They found him was probably about 3 weeks. It was a kid from
Wow.
somewhere in LA, and it's I don't think it was me that made it happen, but just the fact that I was within that energy.
You were part of it, man. You were part of it. So
Thank you.
that's cool though, man. Yeah, like the fact that they found the kid is huge right there. Like Ray Funk, human search activate.
I know, man. I'm a jack of all trades, and I don't know. I surprise myself sometimes.
Right on, man. Right on. So, let that is awesome, man, and it's always good when you can give back. I try to do what I can for people on my show, my guests. I haven't got to do any fundraisers yet, but you never know. In the future, I may be able to help out in that way as well. But
Do it, man. You have a great vibe. Sorry to interrupt you, but
no, no worries.
you have a great vibe. You help a lot of people. You know what I mean by having them on your show. One thing about I noticed about podcasting or doing shows is it's kind of sad that you don't people don't show you that they watch your show or they're watching you, but there's always a lot of people watching you, man. There's more people watching you than what you think, and I'll
Yeah.
be honest, if you were to create like a fundraiser or however I can help you, I'll be there, man, because you're a good vibe. That's that's what I believe. Good vibes. I believe I'm a big believer of the law of attraction too. And everything's connected. So
Definitely, man. Definitely. And karma, man. It's always good to be on the good side of karma.
yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna be honest. Yes.
Yes. So all right. So let's talk about your show a little bit more, man. Let's get into it. You seem to have kind of a wide array of guests anyway, like from we'll say retired adult film stars
Yeah.
to musicians, singers, and I haven't got through all
Yeah.
your shows
But
yet. So I'm sure we have
let me throw it out there too, because I'm hoping, some of your listeners come check us out. We've even had, a YouTuber that we met through online, and she talked about according to her experience of having sex with an alien. So we have all
what?
kinds of people on the show.
Having sex with an alien, you
An
said?
alien, yeah.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah, yeah. So that's not all we talk about on the show. We talk about everything.
like
We
you are talking about extraterrestrial aliens and not like illegal aliens, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah they come and go like Sancho.
You gotta specify
They come
because
and go like
one
that.
makes it crazy, one well, whatever.
Yeah, no, but it was her whole experience. Was crazy. She came to our show, flew from Australia, came from vacations. We had the chance to have her. We've had uh, webcam models. Girls
Okay,
that they're into the business of they're models for the webcam. Um, we've had maids. There's
maids.
well, they call it like a cute maids. It's kind of like a trend that people follow here about Japan. In Japan they have
Oh,
like cafe maids, and then they show up. They're dressed up with little outfits and stuff. So
okay. So there's like you can get a maid to come actually in the French maid outfit and clean your house.
oh yeah, they have more like their events where you go to their events and you pay VIP. I haven't gone to one, you know.
Okay.
So probably people are like, "What the hell, Ray? What are you doing?" Uh,
Like I'm turned on by cleaning, man.
I know, no. So you go to their parties, and according to them, like you pay a certain amount of money, and it comes with the maid, and she comes talks to you. You play games with her, kind of like I don't know, just it's kind of like a company. They're kind of like hostess in a way, but
Okay.
it's a big trend. Here in Los Angeles, LA, man. We have trends for everything. California, we're just beautiful. Like
Hey man, I'm up in the Bay Area, so
I'm sure you have some over there.
I'm sure if I look hard enough, I can find those mates around here, probably.
Yeah.
Um, so all right. So what throughout your show, like what I'm not gonna ask who your favorite guest is, but what is a guest that stands out to you? Like one of their stories was great, or you
Mm.
know, one of your guests that just really popped out at you.
Okay, I like this question. It's kind of hard because we've made a well we there's been a lot of guests that they've cried on the show. You know, they open up, but that's it's kind of hard. I'm gonna try to think real quick. I would say
And this isn't taken away from any of your other shows.
okay. So we had on the show this lady called Alexis K. Tyler.
Okay.
And she's known. She went viral some years ago for on YouTube for they used to call her, if you guys Google or YouTube, the penis power lady or vagina power lady. That's her, and that's not the reason why. Like,
Okay.
but the reason why is because it was my first time reaching out to somebody to be on the show, but someone that's been viral or it's known on the internet.
Okay.
and and the person was really nice, man. I was like, hey, I would love to have you on the show, you know. And right away she's like, yeah, I'll be glad, I would love to. So yeah, we did an episode, and I really like that person, or that episode, because it showed me a lot, man, that sometimes sometimes we miss out on opportunities, you know, and we think people are not going to want to help you or be on your show, and you'll be surprised, man. You know, there's a lot of people out there that even though they're known or they're viral, they're down to help you, man. You know, so
Definitely, dude. Definitely. Especially if you have like somebody to introduce you to them too, that even helps like more. A lot of people, as you said, are down to help get the word out no matter how they do, whether it's talking about they
yeah,
need to be able to promote themselves too, you know.
true, yeah, oh yeah, that's just true. No, so that taught me a lot, you know what I mean, and that gave me more faith and believe in myself. You know what I mean? That, you know, I can do it, and I can keep on growing. All I got to do is ask. You know.
Let's just throw this out there in case they're listening, because you know everybody listens to this show.
Yeah,
Um
you'll be surprised, man. You'll be so surprised, man. You have a good show. You just don't see it. You're
maybe
like, yeah,
hope
I see it.
I see it all the
Yeah.
time. I like
But tell me more, Ray. Tell me
when
more.
I'm on the transit, I rip people's earbuds off and be like, "Oh, you're not listening to me. Let me help you out.
Uh,
let me subscribe to my show for you."
that's a good
Uh,
thing. Yeah.
no, that's like really guerrilla marketing right there. But so if you were mentioning about reaching out to people online, or people who have a name already, uh, just putting it out there. We talked about karma or whatever, or like things coming around. Who is your dream guest? Who do you really want to have on your show?
Oh man, I would love to. I would love to have sugar free.
Okay.
And the reason why is um, because I started listening to his music, and I could relate a lot. Not everything, because his type of style of rapping is different than other people. You know, he doesn't talk about gangster stuff or let me shoot this or let me, you know, he talks more about he talks about pimping,
Okay.
but he talks about taking care of your money, and um, uh, he's when he talks about pimping, he doesn't only talk about, you know, what we think about the classic, you know, pimp. You know, he talks more about,
Yeah.
you know, how society, you know, is, and just to take care of your money, and also too, when I used to listen to his music back in so many years ago. I was going through a very bad relationship, so he kind of helped me out. It's kind of weird, but because, you know, a lot of people, they take the back, they think when you hear the word pimping, they think something bad, which, you know, I don't condone pimping. Okay, you know, I don't want
All
to
right.
say like, man,
That'll be the name of the episode. Ray Funk. I don't condone pimping. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, no, and the other reason too is because I've seen his interviews, and the guy, he's really serious. You know, the way you know, he's looking at the person that's interviewing him. You know, he's got a straight face, and he's serious about his stuff. So I think also it will be a challenge for me to interview him, because you know, I like to have fun in my interviews, but you know, with him, you know, I'm sure the interviews will be, you know, fun, but it'll be a challenge for me.
Yeah, and you know, um, you definitely would want to like, for you like your dream interview, you're gonna have to work your ass off
Yeah,
preparing for that one too, because you're like, I finally got this interview that I want, and I don't want to fuck it up.
exactly.
So for those out there like me, I guess I actually am not familiar with sugar free. So like if somebody wanted to check out sugar free, what would you recommend them taking a listen to?
uh, I think I will recommend the song called "Thinking," and
Okay.
yeah, that was pretty cool.
All right, definitely have to check that out. And so where do you where do you see Activate LA going to next? Like you mentioned you were having a lot of like musicians on, a lot of more public figures on. Where do you see Activate LA going?
Going, oh man, I'll be honest. I think I see it us having like a bigger studio and having the chance to actually have more artists perform live on the show. Um, it's a show that I see myself doing till I grow old and everything. But um, I think pretty soon we'll have our own a bigger network. I will say bigger studio and more bigger guests and everything.
Nice, nice. All right. So now, what advice would you say you have for somebody who is looking to get into? We'll throw it out, either like dancing or doing the old school popping and locking hip hop style, or into doing a show like yours.
Yeah, I would recommend for the people just starting or about to start but haven't made done the first step. Take it, go for it. There's never a perfect time. I know we all have heard this. We continue to hear this about, oh yeah, there's never a perfect time. No, there's not. The perfect time is right now. You know, right now, whatever you want to do. If you want to dance, just give it 10, 15 minutes. Go, if you don't have somebody or a school, where you're at, watch a video. Watch a video and try to practice at least 10, 15 minutes a day of whatever you want to do. Whatever
Okay.
you want to do. If you want a podcast and you feel you have an ugly voice, because that's what a lot of I hear a lot of people say, oh, but I have an ugly voice. And then once they get comfortable with their voice, they're like, oh, but I don't have content. You know, just take the step at least once, at least twice a week for 10, 15 minutes. Practice that, whatever you want to do. Practice it, and just do the do. If you don't have somebody, also to look for a mentor, look for a mentor, somebody that can teach you and help you, with whatever you want to do, and luckily right now, like maybe a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know nobody, I can't talk to Howard Stern or whoever their idol is, but you have YouTube. Don't be afraid of being called a wannabe, you know because a lot of people that I've talked to that want to make podcasts, do podcasts or dance,
Yeah.
they always say, "Oh man, but my friends are gonna be like, oh, now what do you want to be a what? Oh, now you want to be this. Oh, now you want to be a dancer. Oh, now you want to do a podcast. Because um, I I had many people tell me that. Oh damn, dude, now you're gonna DJ. Now you're gonna do a radio show, YouTube, and believe it or not, everything's connected. Everything you learn, you end up applying it to whatever your main goal is. So take the step. Don't be afraid. Do it at least twice a week, 10 to 15 minutes. And that's it. That's all you got to do.
Definitely, I dig that advice, man. And to go off of something that you said when you were talking about people saying like, "Oh, my voice is terrible. I don't like my voice." You are going to be the worst critic of your voice. All
Yeah.
right, if that annoying chick Fran Drescher that played the nanny back so long ago could make it with that voice that she had and that hideous hyena laugh, like you'll be fine on the mic.
Yeah. No,
Like
exactly.
you only sound bad in your head until you get used to your voice, and then it just sounds like another voice you're hearing.
Yeah. You'll be surprised, man. There's a lot of people that that are gonna like your voice. Talking, speaking to the people that want to pursue maybe podcasting. There's people out there that they're gonna like your voice and follow you because of that, or for what you say. You'll be surprised. Trust me, you'll be so surprised. I've gotten surprised. So
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, don't let something as small as that stop you from going for it. I agree with Ray 100% on that. So so now what is something that you are currently doing to promote yourself and or activate LA?
activate LA. Oh man, that's a good question. Um, I'm trying to learn as much as I can of the algorithm of Facebook, Instagram. I'm trying to connect as much as I can with people, talk to people. That's very important. Talking to people, hitting up people online. Talk to them and let them know. Be honest. What you want. What are you looking for. That's how I reach people. I usually message them. Hey, how you doing? I'm Ray Funk. Thank you for the ad. I run this podcast and I see that you do this. I would love to try to have you on the show, interview you, and maybe, you know, try to help you get some followers, at least a little bit. So if you're open to the opportunity, let's make it happen. And that's one way. Right now, what I'm doing too, man, in person, I try to talk to people whenever I strike a conversation. I'm a very social person. If I'm
Right on.
wherever I'm at, if somebody has a friendly gesture towards me and I see they want to talk, I always tell them like, hey man, I do this show, man. If you would like to check it out, I would love for you to check it out, and people like that. It seems like now more than ever, people are more into podcasts, man.
Yeah, definitely. There's still a lot of people out there that don't know what they are, but it's getting smaller and smaller. I heard this statistic listening to some other show. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like something like last year there was something like um 400 million books released.
Well,
Um and in all of podcasting right now, there's like around, I don't remember the exact number, but it's something like 200 to 400,000 podcasts.
podcast.
So it's still in its infancy of the podcasting or technology life cycle.
Yeah.
So it's still young. So a lot of people, it's good to see it starting to catch on for sure.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of people they ask me, uh, where I work on my regular job, and they're always like, "Hey, man, do you listen to this podcast? Do you listen to that podcast?" And I tell them, I don't tell them I do podcasting on my show, but I like the fact that I'm hearing that more and more people are talking about podcasts. Oh yeah, I prefer podcasts and TV now, because I can, listen to it when I drive on the go or while I'm doing this. And they talk about it more than back in 2008, when I used to do my old podcast.
Definitely, man. Wow, that's probably, I don't know.
That's back in the
Where was
automatic.
podcasting back then? Did you have to like was it just like iTunes around back then,
It
or?
was actually when I started. It was uh, uh, right after iTunes, not right after, but when everybody knew that podcasting was only on iTunes, because I started
Yeah,
my podcast through Podomatic. I don't know if it's still around.
I think it is.
Yeah, Podomatic.com. And I used to, you're gonna laugh, bro. It's some real stuff. I used to give out CDs with my podcast. I will put music, and then at the end, I will put my podcast to promote it. And I got a couple of listeners, man, through
Very
promoting
cool, man.
promoting my podcast like that. I was younger, so I didn't have no shame. I don't think I will do that now, unless like if I'm going to actually that's a good idea, going to podcast conventions and stuff, but CDs, yeah, I don't know. Probably will give some USBs, pass them out.
Yeah, CDs, they're actually going obsolete now. It's kind of
Yeah.
sad, but
that
um,
that shows you my age right there.
hey, I'm right there with you, my friend. I'm right there with you. So now I know we kind of touched on a highlight, but what is a highlight or two that you would care to share with the uncontained audience?
As in with the podcast.
It could be with podcasting.
Something
Basically, when I
highlight.
say highlight, it's kind of like when you're hanging out with your boys and you're telling a story like, dude, you got to hear this story. You won't believe this happened to me, type thing. Or can you believe this happened?
Yeah. Uh, well, highlight as a, I would talk about the show. People recognizing me, it's really cool. It's a really nice feeling. Not like it's a really nice feeling, man. When people tell you, "Hey, dude, you're so and so," and back before, like I said, I used to be into the dating thing. So when people would recognize me, it was like girls, like maybe I messed around with and I, disappeared on them. So, but that's a highlight because when this person approached me, I was like, "Oh, dude, I don't know who this person is." So probably it's something from long time ago, and I'm like, "I hope I'm not in trouble." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, this is I'm Ray Funk," and this person was like, "Man, I watch your podcast. You guys are hilarious." It's like, "Thank you." It's like, even though you guys are all over the place, sometimes you guys are talking about this, but I like to see how real you guys are, and I bought this person a shot because it made my day, and let me know that's the part that's where I learned that people are watching you.
Yeah,
Because uh, close friends, they know you, they've been knowing you for a while, but so maybe they're not really going to see your show, but it's the other people, it's like new people that become, listeners or fans or followers and friends, of course. So that's a big highlight, because it made me feel good and let me know people are actually watching and inspire me, motivate me.
that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. And there is no better feeling, really, at least podcast related or like radio related, when somebody notices you, recognizes you for like what you have done, and actually appreciate what you do.
Yeah,
That's huge right there.
yeah.
Uh,
Can I ask you a question?
of course, man.
Because you do have a good radio voice, podcast voice. Have you ever had somebody? Uh, have you ever tuned into a show and you listen to one of the hosts and you hear your voice, or you hear a person that it sounds exactly like you, but it's like the personality is different, but it's your same exact voice. Has that ever happened to you?
I don't know if I've quite heard my same exact voice on it. I think I've heard people that kind of sound a little bit like me, but like when I actually did radio and did and then got into podcasting, but there's been a few people I've heard that kind of had my cadence or some of my tone, but never exactly the same. Did you run into that? Did you run into that?
Yeah, I was gonna say that highlight. That was a highlight, but I don't think that's a highlight. But yeah, dude, I tuned into someone's show on TuneIn. I know it was XII Live. It's kind of like TuneIn commercial right there. So, and dude, I heard this guy with the same voice. I just froze. I was like, whoa. But his wording was different than mine, but it was the same tone on that really
That is kind of surreal though, but it's got to be that's also got to feel kind of good in a way too. Be like, dude, I got something, at least got some like the voice quality for this.
yeah, he was more organized though. I felt like, damn, it's more reality.
Oh man. Well, you at least know that it's an option now. Just gotta get organized. I do
Yeah.
too. Uh
I tried to do it for your show, but I wrote the answers. I went, like little things that maybe I forgot about the crew, but everything, I got to be more organized. I like it.
yeah, it's like I appreciate you taking the time to prep for the show a little bit. And we refer to your cast as the crew a lot. You want to just give them a shout out? Who's on the show with you?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my co-host and friend Tremaine. He's the man of the voice of the show, man. And he's I don't know, he's pretty good host. I want to give a shout out to Chris, Face One, Leo, and the DR. That's the crew of the show. So
Okay.
from the crew, the whole crew, it's gonna be Jessica Honeytouch, Carlo, Sam, and Tsugu, Rika, Sean So Funky, Drew, and everybody, man, everybody that's been part of it. Thank you guys.
All right, cool, man. So, and when like I'll give a minute to throw out your social media here in a little bit. But what time is your show on? Because you do stream live, and then people can find you on YouTube afterwards, right?
Correct. Yeah. We live stream. Yeah, we stream on YouTube Friday nights, 9:30 to 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. On on YouTube, that's Activate LA. We're also on Periscope and Facebook. But we try to focus more now on YouTube and try to like answer the questions and.
I will definitely put a link in my show notes to check that out.
Okay.
Now, what do you want people who listen to Activate LA to remember or take away and feel from your show? Like, what are you trying to get across to
Get
people?
across. And I like this question. Uh, I want them to feel like after watching the show or whenever they tune into the show, or that they can talk to somebody. They can always call us because we have the open phone line, and
Okay.
so I want them to know that this show's for them. Entertainment, and also too, if they're going through some stuff, they can give us a call, be anonymous with a restricted number, and we would love to talk to them, man. Because there's a lot of people out there, that feel uh, alone, feel lonely. A lot of people, they're not like you and me, or that we are easy to speak to. We're friendly. We talk to a lot of people or everyone. There's people out there that they don't know how to make a friend.
Yeah.
They don't know how to make a friend. They isolate themselves. So what I want them to know is that we are there for you guys, not only for the entertainment, but to talk, man. If you guys want to call in, talk about anything, we are open, man. And the phone number is 424-777-2423. It's for you guys.
All right. And if you want to send me that over in a message, I will put that in the show notes as well so people can call. When you're not there, it goes to a voicemail box, I'm assuming you listen and you check those.
I have actually, thank you for reminding me. I'm supposed to create like the voicemail service thing. But that's
Okay.
actually, yeah, that's a great idea right there. So that way, if maybe they don't want to, talk to us, maybe they can leave a comment, or if they want us to talk about a certain topic or they have a question, we would love to talk to you guys. We're here for you guys.
All right, man. All right. So actually, I only have one more question after this. So this is actually the perfect time to throw out your social media and the corner of the internet that you are in for like website, social media, where they can listen and all that good stuff. We've kind of covered some of it, but if you want to throw out the rest of it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if you would like to contact me, you can contact me through Facebook. That's Ray Funk. Uh, for the younger generation, IG Ray Funk, you can hit me up there. Also too, if you are on Facebook and would like to join our group, check out my crazy posts, or interact with other people. You're a podcaster, streamer, and you would like to post your stream radio show or do your live stream there to get more reach. We're open, and the group is Activate LA Radio. Make sure you
Oh,
guys,
awesome.
yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to grow a little bit more there. But if you don't like YouTube, you can always catch us on Facebook, Activate LA Radio, or Periscope, Ray Funk. If you would like to email me, you can do it at activatela@gmail.com. And check us out Sunday nights on LA Party Radio. They repeat our show from 9:30 to 12. That's 9:30 to 12 Pacific Standard Time. And if you're in the UK, 12 a.m. UK time on identifyradio.com. Thank you so much for letting me plug all this in, man.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. That's part of the reason coming on here, man, to get your stuff out, and you know, get yourself a few more listeners as well. Now, just to clarify, for your social media tags with your name, that is Funk with a PH, correct?
Correct, with a PH. Yeah.
Yeah, so Phunk.
Mm.
So remember that when you type that. If you type it with the F, who knows what you'll get.
Yeah, there's gotta be that person, man.
All right, Ray, man. It's been great talking to you today, man. Thank you for coming on Uncontained.
Oh, man, thanks for having me.
Of course, and I look forward to hearing some more episodes of your show. Do you have anybody coming up that, or any shows coming up that you want to plug real quick before we get to this final question?
Yeah, check us out on YouTube, Activate LA. Coming up, man, we're gonna have an awesome show with this group from here from LA called the Pheromones. If you like synthwave, they're pretty awesome. And check us out, man. Check us out. Trust me, there's gonna be one episode that's gonna make you come back.
All right, definitely. So the pheromones. All right, I have to check that out. And now it's time for that final question, dude. It's a title question of the show. Ray Phunk, how do you live uncontained?
Oh man, I like it. Yeah, well, when it comes to like living uncontained, and also to like dealing with people, or people that might judge me for what I'm doing, I try to, or how a lot of people call them, maybe they might be haters. I try to understand them, why they might be hating, or maybe they're not hating, they're just not happy with them themselves. I try to understand them, why they might be saying whatever, or they might be hating, because I want to understand that, so I can know, and not hold a grudge against them. And
Yeah.
also too, I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe in the law of attraction, that because it has never failed me, and you can create what you want. Maybe not as fast as you want it, but it'll come to you. So just keep pushing.
All right, very cool, man. Very cool. So, once again, thank you for coming on the show. And I got that one final thing for you to do, Ray, and that is to sign off the show. Will you do me the honor of signing off the show tonight?
Oh, I would love to. Yeah. So check it out. This is Ray Funk from Activate LA, and I just want y'all to know I live uncontained.
And that does it for another episode of Uncontained. I'm your host, Aaron Static Render. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you check us out online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and let me know what you think of the show. I love to hear some feedback from you. And yeah, and please, if you enjoy it, share it and help spread the word of Uncontained. It's much appreciated. And make sure while you're online, you check out Ray's show Activate LA, which you can find on YouTube live Friday from 9 o'clock p.m. to 12 midnight Pacific Standard Time. So otherwise, you can catch it on YouTube just like anything else. All the links are in my show notes. Thank you once again for listening, and until next time, live uncontained.